They disrespect you, you give that shit. It's like, again, when you're talking to a child, what do we know about children? When you're reprimanding them, don't laugh. When you're reprimanding them, don't show them that you're in a good mood. Show them that you're serious. So say, hey, don't do that ever again. Even point your finger. Don't do that ever again. Because you don't want to be giving multiple warnings. And if you have this facade, hey, don't do that freaking Barbie girl facade, that nobody's gonna take that seriously. It requires a
like a boss.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pillow Talk Hour with Father Alex, and today we're gonna be talking about why setting boundaries always works with men. Why demanding respect always works with men. So we're gonna be reading one of your questions that you guys sent me, and from there I'm gonna be teaching you guys this concept. If anybody wants to work with me one-on-one, like I said, click in the description down below. You'll see all the options. You guys can become Patreon supporters or just schedule a private phone call with me. Okay. So let's begin. And this, honestly, this part of this video, this video also goes into what charismatic people use, because a lot of the strategies I'm going to be teaching you guys are things that people who are highly influential, people who have high charisma, they all do. Okay. So because of that, you guys can also check out my course, Charisma Blueprint. And by the way, the income that I use for this usually goes to pay my tuition. But generally speaking, the Charisma Blueprint is a course that I made for women in order to teach you guys how to project charisma and how to gain respect from people and not be pushed around. All right. So click on the description down below to purchase it. It's my newest course. Let's begin with the video. Hey, Alex. I have two examples, but the story goes down to a question: how to teach them to be there for me, help me, and respect me after letting disrespect happen. Okay, so you're asking, how do you recover from being disrespected? How do you recover from lowering your perceived value? By the way, I hope my voice is not squeaky, because last time my voice was squeaky. I sounded like Mickey Mouse. I used to be very independent most of my life, and I got people in my life used to just doing whatever they wanted, and I will let them. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm the same too. I'm a people pleaser, and yeah, that happened to me. I totally relate to you, man. This is why this channel exists, to be honest with you. My parents basically let my sister live full-time with him. Pays for her food, utilities. She earns more than me. He claims I am his favorite daughter. Oh, okay. I used to drive to visit him. People, honestly, like, when you guys say him, I mean, what are you guys talking about? Jimmy Butler? Like, you guys gotta let me know who you guys talking about. Like, him, I assume is your father. Maybe you're not talking about the pop-up girl villain called him. Listen to him complain, etc. But over the years, I asked to get my own hotel when I visited. He never came to see me, etc. Who's him? Okay. Okay. I'm assuming he's a sugar daddy or big dog in the block. The breaking point was when I needed a quick loan, $1,000 to buy a car. He refused. He has a big business, sponsors my sister, so not like it's a lot for him. I cut contact and just once a week texting him explaining where I stand. He keeps calling. I want him to treat me with support. Otherwise, for the sake of family, no way. I had also a similar situation with an ex of 2 years. I made mistakes. I let him walk all over me. He is keen on getting back into my life as a friend. Guys never just come back as friends. They all come back as friends, as dicks masquerading as friends. Like it's like a dick with a mask. I actually requested for him to make it up to me as you teach. I bought him expensive gifts and requested a match to even meet with him. Why are you buying him expensive gifts? But I'm still worried if I let those people back into my life, they will quickly go to their old ways? How do I set new standards? Minimize their input in my life? What to ask for? I want to care and respect from I want the care and respect from family, friends, and partners. I have the nice girl course. Okay, so but I'm still unsure how to handle these situations. Look, first of all, don't make things complicated. All right, you when it comes to respect, it's very basic. With everyone in your life, you got to have a set of standards. A set of standards with a set of things that you will or will not accept. If you watch the course, Nice Girl, you'll notice I talk about that. I emphasize that. Most likely, you have not written down the set of standards. What are the things that you're willing to accept? And what are the things that you're not willing to accept? And you have not internalized them to the point that it creates a visceral reaction in you if anybody crosses those lines, right? So that's the first thing. You got to know what those things are. You have to know what they are. If you don't know what they are, nothing that I teach you will work. When it comes to gaining people's respect, there's a certain way that you move around the world, and that's with a mentality of this is what I'm willing to accept, and this is what I'm not willing to accept because of this is how I treat myself. So you got to find that out. For example, in this case, he claims to be, I'm his favorite daughter. Okay, I used to drive. Okay, that's your dad. Okay, but I asked him, he doesn't support. When I needed a quick loan of $1,000 to buy a car, he refused. I cut contact and just explaining where I stand. Well, look. Well, okay. Wait a minute. You can't be asking. You can't. If somebody doesn't give you money when you asking for a loan, you can't get mad at them for saying no. I'm just being honest with you. You can't. You can't be mad at them. That's their money. This is another topic. But at the end of the day, you can't cut contact off just because they don't want to give you the loan. You know? Because that's called entitlement. I'm just being honest with you. That's just called entitlement. Outside of that, I'm just going to keep it real, okay? Because your question is there's too many hymns with no faces, okay? I'm just being honest with you. So I'm going to answer the question in terms of generally. How do I teach them to be there for me? Well, first of all, people are not entitled to give you money. Your parents are not entitled to give you money. Your parents are not entitled to pay for your bills. So the first thing you have to learn about self-respect is for you to depend on yourself. Respect yourself by believing in yourself. Respect yourself by not depending on nobody else but yourself. Because the ultimate disrespect that you could ever show to yourself is complete dependence on somebody else. Complete dependence on, even though I understand the need for somebody, but that will always debilitate you. That will always strip you of your powers. Never depend on somebody. Always depend on yourself. Financially, emotionally, it's completely different. You should always allow yourself to depend on somebody else emotionally and be able to take the loss of their support. That's the first thing, because that is resilience. But financial dependence always completely strips you of your faculties and your powers. And when you depend on somebody financially and you know that they don't respect you that much, there is a certain level of respect that you lose for yourself. And thus, you'll begin to accept that type of disrespect that you're giving to yourself. The first form of violence we all endure in life is our own personal violence towards ourselves, our own self-disrespect, our own self-eating horribly and putting our bodies through a negative experience, all because we are not giving ourselves peace. So help me and respect me after letting them disrespect happen. Well, first of all, again, I'm just going to be very quick, them not wanting to give you money is not disrespect. That's the first thing. Second, let's read this again, assuming that is your dad. I cut contact and I just text him explaining where I stand. Okay, he claims I'm his favorite daughter. First of all, parents should never tell you that. I used to drive to visit him, listen to him and complain. What is he? Your relationship? That's your dad. Dads are gonna complain. Parents are gonna complain. This shouldn't be something that you should be holding on against him. I asked to get my own hotel when I visited him. He never came to see me. Oh, listen to him. But over the years, I asked to get my home. Okay, he never came to see you. Okay, I mean, again, I can't go into any judgment about him with limited information, so I can't say whether or not that was good or bad on his part. The breaking point was when I needed a quick loan, he refused. He had, okay, sponsors my sister, so it's not like it's a lot for him. Look, again, can't be comparing what he's doing for her for you. I don't know. I can't go to conclusions without information. I cut contact. Okay, I also had a similar situation with an ex. So it seems like you and your dad and your exes, it seems to be the same dynamic here, which is sometimes it's called projection. I made mistakes. I let him walk all over me. What do you mean let you walk all over him? That's what I need to know. You can't be given these types of like abstract words. He is keen to getting back into my life as a friend. I actually requested to him to make it up to me. I bought him an expensive gift. So you did buy him an expensive gift. You did buy him an expensive gift. How are you going to say in one sentence, I did what you said, make it up to me, and then literally the next sentence, I bought him an expensive gift? And why expensive? Why? Why? Why did they have to be expensive? What were you buying? Why did you feel the need to make it more expensive? But I'm still worried if I let those people back into my life, they'll quickly lose. Look, first of all, don't be buying any motherfucker any gifts. Don't be buying no dudes any gifts. What the fuck, man? I mean, seriously. Buy me a gift. What are you buying him a gift? Like, seriously. I just don't understand this. How do you know that you follow my videos and then you say I bought him a gift? And it's not even a new sentence. You say I'm doing what you're doing and then you put the parentheses, I bought him a gift. I mean, come on, man. Like, seriously, this is... How do I set new standards? Well, first of all, like I said, don't buy any guys any gift. That's the first step. Second of all, you're not doing any of my videos. I would recommend don't be relying on your mom and dad for money. Remove that. Second of all, don't resent your parents for not giving you a 1K loan. I don't know your history. For you to present this information without giving me any context about why you think he doesn't want to do it. So let's forget all about that. The point is, how do you get people to respect you? You set standards, man. You set standards on the things that you will. And I'll be honest with you, your parents not giving you money is not a standard. Remove that from your standards. Don't expect money from your parents. Nobody should expect any form of objects from anybody. The only thing that you should expect from people is for them to give you decency, for them to give you respect, to respect your time, to respect your requests, to respect your words, to respect your physical boundaries, to respect your how much you want them to contact you, and for them not to lie to you or break promises. For example, I'm seeing people right now. I'm seeing a girl, and I want like that, just playing around. That's so toxic. She's like, "Don't fucking do that," right? But I go like this sometimes. I go like this. But this she didn't like. She said, "Don't do that." Like, and I was like, okay, right? Her face. Her tone was serious. She was like, "Don't do that," and I was like, "My fault," and I don't do that no more. I don't tease her. I don't go like I know you don't like this. I don't tease her because that's disrespectful. Now if she tells me not to do that, damn, not hurt, and I do that. You know what she has to do? She not get mad. She should do is just get up and walk home. Not walk home. I call her an Uber, but get up and say, "Look, I'm leaving." To show me that she's not playing, right? Of course, I'm not gonna test her, but that's the point, right? But if she says, told you not to do that," don't get me wrong, that's still a good option. The sternness, the change in the voice, and the change in the face, and the making eye contact tells me that you're serious. So you got to learn how to have that stern, serious look to people, right? They disrespect you, You give that. It's like, again, when you're talking to a child, what do we know about children? When you're reprimanding them, don't laugh. When you're reprimanding them, don't show them that you're in a good mood. Show them that you're serious. So say, hey, don't do that ever again. Even point your finger. Don't do that ever again. Because you don't want to be giving multiple warnings. And if you have this facade, hey, don't do that freaking Barbie girl facade, that nobody's gonna take that seriously. It requires a masculine, don't do that type of facade. That's the first thing. Focus on your facade. What are you showing in your face? What are your mannerisms that say I'm playful? When you gotta be serious, learn to show that seriousness. And above all, if they break that barrier, if they break that, the only way for you to come back is not for them to buy you. It's not for you to buy them a gift. It's for them to apologize, and for you to communicate that the next time this happens, we're not seeing you no more. So that means I'm referring to physical boundaries, right? Hey, don't hit me like that. Don't put me in that chokehold. Jesus Christ. Don't go like that to me. Don't call me a bitch. Only in bed, right? Or hey man, I understand you're busy, but you can't be taking a whole day to respond. So, if that's how we're gonna work, then we're gonna have to reconsider things. You gotta communicate. And then you gotta be willing that if they disrespect you, you gotta follow through on those words. I always respect people more when they set boundaries. I always do. I always respect people more when they, quote unquote, put me in my place. I always do. And the reason why is because, one, I adore strength. I find strength attractive, right? But also because it shows me that I'm with someone who would not let somebody back them down. I want those genes. I want those strong genes. If I have a kid, I want them. I don't want a bitch ass kid. What the fuck? Like, that's problematic. That's a bad look on Father Alex, right? I want a bully. I'm kidding. No bullies, right? I don't give a fuck, man. I'd rather have a bully than a kid who gets bullied any day. Shit, I could deal with those traumas. So yeah, that's one thing, right? How do I set new standards? Well, once they come back, you gotta say, okay, look, big boy, I understand. Because look, imagine from what your story, imagine you're setting standards because you don't give you enough money. What are you gonna say? Hey, I understand that you're rich and stuff like that, but if you want to be my dad, you got to give me this much money because you give. That's not good. Okay. Depend on yourself, because when you don't depend on yourself, one of the things that will happen is that people will hold their financial support over your head. And you don't understand. Money talks. The person with the money has power. It's always like that. In the NBA, a player could be making $30 million, and 1 out of 10, there'll be a 6th player. And then if there's a player that's making $2 million, but let's just say he 1 out of 6, 1 out of 10, he's an 8 out of 10. The person who's making $36 million and 6 out of 10 will get way more playing time than you. Way more. And that's consistent. And so it doesn't matter how good you are. It's all about how much you make. It's all about how much money you have. How much do you bring in? If you depend on somebody financially, they don't have to respect this. No, they don't have to respect your rules. You got to follow their rules, not the opposite way around. It's always like that. Depending on nowadays, the modern form of slavery, it's that. The person who gives you the money is the person with the power. Why? Because you also feel it emotionally. You feel it emotionally, and you also kind of resent that emotionally. So that means you gotta first depend on yourself. You can never get full respect if you financially depend on somebody. They're always gonna hold that against you. I'm sorry. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know? And also, don't get back with exes. I'm just being honest. Leave your exes in the past. Because exes will always repeat their behavior. Very rarely do people change. Very rarely. And I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those people. I changed, but that's rare. That's rare, people. It took me going to a 10-day meditation retreat. Now, if they go to a 10-day meditation retreat, which you could go by going to dharma.org. Just go to Vipassana 10-day retreat on Google and you'll find it. If they do that, yeah, sure. But how many people are willing to endure that pain? How many people are willing to go through 10 days of freaking torture? What the fuck? That was crazy, man. Unbelievable. Holy crap. 10 days of silence, people. Even now, I can't believe I did that. But that's the only way to change. But your issue is that you're not doing anything of the things that I say. That's a problem. You're not doing anything. You think I'm Black Jesus, that I could just snap my finger and all of a sudden they respect you. No. I can't just say, hey, Father Alex, bless this relationship, and the toxicity would just be sorted away. No, boo-boo. No, I'm not Black Jesus. I'm Father Alex. You got to do what the videos say, man. All right? Have those standards within you. Internalize them. And you know what? And the next thing I feel like is get a meditation practice. Because by you developing a meditation practice, you're not going to go too far with this, because some people could set standards that are way too far because they feel insecure, right? When you feel insecure, you sometimes exaggerate. Any little mistake, they get the capital punishment. The punishment must fit the crime. And if you're way too emotional, you might forgive too quickly, or you might become so bitter that you never forgive and your standards are unrealistic. And one of the ways to set realistic standards is to have an equilibrium state of mind, a relaxed state of mind. And you develop that through a meditation practice. I'm sorry, there's no other way around that. I hate to repeat myself, but that's just the way it works. If you want to learn how to develop a meditation practice, get the book, The Power of Now. Well, The Power of Now doesn't really tell you to meditate, to be honest with you. But But yeah, get The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Get dharma.org and get into a 10-day meditation retreat, or purchase my course, Emotional Mastery. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. And I'm talking to the tax revenue people. I'm sorry. I'm waiting on the phone. And I'll see you guys later.